NERDSoul.
violence starts to impact more people. And then those people, like a Diego Luna, go, well, I'm not as crazy as Saw Gerrera, but also my family's getting torn apart, so I better do something, right?
Yeah.
You're forced to take a side.
Yeah, it's like, well, I know there's people that work for the Empire because the Empire is the only work to be gotten.
Right.
But Saul's not wrong.
Exactly.
Like I can't even equate us blowing up this thing that has, say 50 people from the Empire.
Yeah.
When they blew up a planet.
Exactly.
So it's like I can't, or they're getting ready to blow up a planet, or they've enslaved all the Wookiees, or they've done, all of these things where it's like, Saw is crazy, maybe, or is he doing what's necessary against an enemy like this?
Exactly. Well, and because you can't, like what you see from Princess Leia in A New Hope is that she's still part of the Senate. I'm imagining that Bail Organa and like that whole family are in one of those little cubicles that moves around in the big Imperial Senate. And they're sitting there going like, well, how far, like we've tried negotiating, but like, how far is this going to go? And when do we have to stop negotiating? And the Death Star is really the impetus for them in large part to like start fighting, right? It's like, well, we can't let the Emperor have a Death Star because then there is no Senate, which of course was what happens in A New Hope. The Senate is basically dissolved. So I think it's really fascinating to see even before the reasonable leaders start to fight, who fights first. And when you see these people fighting and they fight for their various reasons, like if this guy's a business guy, and this happened a lot with the American Revolution too, it wasn't not like some sense of justice that they had of like, oh, I feel just. It was like, no, they just stole some of my tea and I'm sick and tired of them stealing my tea.
Yeah, they're cutting into X amount of profits.
Exactly.
And I don't like that. And then they're also doing this. And then they're also doing that.
Correct. That's exactly right. That's exactly how it goes. And so this is really fascinating to me. But
I need all the heroes I can get.
By the way, I'm a sucker. Oh, I'm glad I paused it here. But I am a sucker for just going back a second. Anytime we see the ships again in the atmosphere, going along the ground, like the fact that they have it going
like
across,
the water skimming across the water.
It's so cool. Like when the X-wings go across the water in The Force Awakens, I love that stuff. And then
heroes I can get.
I need all the heroes I can get. So 2 tubes. This is one of the coolest designs.
And it lets us know, okay, cool. So if he needs all the heroes he can get, that means that we're going to see some familiar faces. And then I was surprised to see the next face we see. I was honestly surprised.
Yeah. Let's get there. I just wanted to point out here, like this is legit the X-Wing right there. Just the X-Wing. They have one. They've got one of them. It's maybe one of the Rebellion's first X-Wings.
For the greater good.
Yeah, see, now
call it what you will. Let's call it.
Yeah, okay. First of all, thank goodness that now his name's totally slipping my mind. I love this actor. Forrest Whitaker. Thank you. Oh, I can't believe I blanked on that name. Forrest Whitaker is so good. He's so good. And we know that in Rogue One that he's starting to go, Saw Gerrera is starting to go a little crazy. So
because of the alien thing.
Borg Gullet knows the truth. Yes.
Borg Gullet.
Borg Gullet knows the truth. I love that. And so I love seeing him back here because obviously he's one of the heroes that this dude is talking about. And so when Saw Gerrera, who's already an extremist, he's already had, look, I'm guessing he's been in a fight his whole life because he's got a big scar across his face. And his first things that he says here in this trailer are, let's call it what it is. It's a war, man. Like,
and also we've seen him fight in the prequels, in the Clone Wars animated series. So now we know we already know he's down. We know he's down. Cool. Yeah. But I agree. He's like, look, let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
We're going to war. If we shoot a bullet over there, they're not gonna just accept it. They're gonna send something bigger back over here.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have to retaliate. And it's gonna go on until one of the other side can't do anything else.
Exactly.
That's what it's gonna be.
That's what it's gonna be.
I think Saw is probably on some stuff like, hey, look, I don't mind fighting. I don't like them. You see, I'm over here doing my little stuff already that I can. But I just want you to know when you step into this, all of us are two tubes. You see, all these dudes look official. Like none of these dudes, they don't look like no punks over here. So you come over here, it's war. You know, it's like, you know, it might be a cold war, it might be a secret war.
Well, it's
war.
It's also good because you know, if you don't call this war and you're Saw Gerrera or you're the rebels, then you're a terrorist, right? But what Saw is signaling is like, look, I'm not in this just to create terror. I'm in this to win against the enemy. I'm here to win. The force that I am creating has a reason to exist and goals that it needs to achieve, and we need to go achieve those goals. And so I think that's where it's like, look, I don't want to be called a terrorist anymore. I want to be called a general, and we're fighting a war. And I like that. It's calcifying what the mission is, right? It's not just like, oh, we just do stuff to be annoying. It's like we do stuff to get the planet back.
This also kind of goes with what I say all the time, that statement of one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter.
Exactly.
Because, you know, you might look at the news and they'll be like, they're terrorists. Yeah, but what do the people in their neighborhood call them? Do they also call them terrorists?
Yep.
Or are they cheering them on? Are they happy? And then if they are happy, then maybe we should figure out why they're happy. Because maybe there's something going on that we don't fully understand that these people are fighting for and about. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that they're right or wrong, but usually it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Whereas it's like, oh, well, they do have a point, and well, maybe this was too far, but when you're this small and you've been oppressed this long, then what is too far?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to like kind of you gotta like with Saw Gerrera, because in Rogue One, they're like, he's crazy. Oh, now it's like, is he crazy? Or has he always been right because they're building a Death Star?
Exactly.
Has he always been right?
Yeah, so is Saw Gerrera crazy, or is he just ahead of the curve? Basically, is what it amounts to. And we know that he's ahead of the curve because we know where this goes. And I like what you're saying there, because one of the reasons why. So my order of Star Wars right now is Mandalorian, Empire Strikes Back, Rogue One, and one of the reasons I like Rogue One so much is because it's great in the original trilogy when George Lucas just tells you like it's the evil empire and Darth Vader is the bad guy, and like and he just basically sells it to you in the first 3 seconds of the crawl, right? He's not even asking you like should you agree with the Empire? He's like, no, the Empire is bad. I'm going to just tell you that right now. What I love about Rogue One is that it actually makes everything a little bit more realistic. So a lot of people, I think, who don't like Rogue One probably don't want that realism in Star Wars. They just want it to be like, look, I want it to be good versus evil. I want to root for one team. I want to root against another team. And what Rogue One does is it says, you know, in order to make these kind of decisions, you've got to get your hands dirty too. And I like that. I like that about Star Wars. I like bounty hunters, and I don't want to just see like, oh, it's just the pure Jedi versus the pure evil Sith. I like just sitting in the gray for a while is cool to me. So I'm excited about this. And that's a good point that you brought up there, is like, it's interesting the way things can be flipped if you look at it from someone else's perspective.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it moving.
War. There's fermenting out there, son. Pockets of fermenting.
And see, right there, we get to see even just what looks like general working guys at the dock or something like that. And you see the look on their faces. They're ready to do something. They might not know what to do. They look like they're just working at a scrapyard, but you see the look on their faces. They're ready to do something. And you know, even to bring it into a real world context, and when Egypt had their uprisings, and there was someone on the ground that interviewed a lady, and she said, we're tired of being poor. We're tired of the government taking everything from us, and we have nothing else. That was it. That's all she said.
Yeah.
And their president had to sneak out of his own country, like, you know,
Yeah.
like, or prime minister or whatever they have, you know what I'm saying? No
Right.
disrespect.
Right.
But, you know, it's like, it's, so you looking at these guys and they're like, we're working in a scrapyard
Yep.
and we're getting less and less. It's just like, what do you think's about to happen?
Exactly. Exactly. I love too, like, I love the design of their hard hats because it almost is reminiscent of the
Ooh.
droids that work on ships. And like it's almost like someone designed those droids to have a hard hat as their head. It's like, oh, well, might as well just put it on there. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I think you nailed it. That's totally what these guys look like. And then I love how it's like there are people even in the Empire, because this dude that's talking at this point in time, like he looks like he's fully part of the Empire. I mean, look at this dude. Like looks like he's fully part of the Empire. But he's like, I think what he's indicating is like, I'm a supervisor on the ground level, and it is not good down there, man. Like it is. It may be good to be. You can sip your coffee on the bridge, but down here where we are, there's some things that are going on that I'm not sure about.
Yeah, people are stealing stuff. I don't know where it's going, and they're not just stealing food. They're stealing equipment. They, you know, a crate of grenades is missing. Like, you know, like, hey guys, y'all better pay attention. Don't worry about it. What are they going to do? One crate of grenades.
Some dude took an AK-47. He's out in the forest. Yeah, you better get this guy. Oh, by the way, I wanted to say this too.
Fermenting.
1 second. This one right here. I thought this was crazy. I have no clue where this is.
Yeah, me neither.
But this design is fantastic. I mean, talk about like it's almost like Blade Runner meets like modern day New York. It's like not so grungy that it's like, but it's not so Coruscant either. It's like this, I don't know. I love this design. It is cool. And you know, put an elevator on the outside of a building. I'm always happy about that.
Yeah, it's always cool.
Yeah.
You're in my net.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
So I'm guessing that's her voice.
Yeah,
because it shows her when we hear it, but she definitely looks like the type that's going to kind of orchestrate a way to, like, she's noticing things and she's like, oh, I can catch these guys in the act.
Yeah,
you know, I think I can stop these guys on my own, of course, because you want to look good and you get your promotion, you know.
Yeah,
all this stuff that not Tarkin, but the other guy, the other guy was trying to do.
Oh yeah, exactly.
In Rogue One, I can't remember his name now.
Yeah,
but the one with the white, and he looked good in the white coat too. He had the little white cape and stuff.
Krennic.
Krennic, yes.
Yeah, Krennic.
Good old Krennic.
Dude, I think he's a great character. But look at this design too. Look at this design. It's like it's super clean. So it's cleaner than what you see in like in the original trilogy, but it looks like it's from that same era. It's like this is when the Empire was at the height of its power in many ways. It's so crazy.
Are you a fish? Or are you a thief?
By the way, I want to hear the end of that metaphor. Like, why is it? What is the difference between a fish and a thief?
Like, yeah, because I was like, what?
What are you talking?
Like,
they turn it around and they're talking. She's talking to like, what's the dude's name from It's a Trap guy? She's talking to that dude.
What's that dude's name? Man, Admiral Akbar.
Admiral Akbar, thank you. Dude, I got this long COVID and my brain fog. I can't remember anything half the time. But she turns around and he's talking to him. That'd be funny. That'd be a good joke. All right, so somebody's putting on a ring here. I didn't even notice that the first time I watched the trailer. Okay, so here he is again. And this is where you were talking about earlier, where he does look like he's part of the system in some way. Like, I know his hair is longer and it's kind of like unkempt or whatever, but like you can tell that he's sort of part of an aristocracy of some kind. Like this is not like the guys we were just seeing loading the truck or whatever. Like this is different. This guy's different.
You're slipping.
Yeah, see? I mean, like, look at this guy. Look at that car, dude. It's like an old Cadillac or something.
And kind of like this fake laugh that he does to welcome whoever this is.
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
It's like, you know, everybody's, and this is the political intrigue that I wanted to see, because it's not that politics are boring, because a lot of people are like, politics are boring. No, politics can be super, you know, exciting in movies. You just have to write it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And this is
like here, you start to see where it's like, oh, there's a whole bunch of people like they're lying to each other, they're keeping stuff from one another, you know, stuff is brewing on the ground. Like it's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, totally. And by the way, this is not, I don't think this is Emilia Clarke, but look, it kind of looks like Emilia Clarke, dude. I can't remember her character's name. Kira?
Ah, man.
Isn't that her name? Kira or whatever? Anyways, in Solo. That would be crazy to see her. But look at that. Like, she's got a chauffeur. So these people are wealthy.
Yeah. These people got some money.
Yeah. These people have some money.
They have Republic credits.
That's right. That's right. Exactly right.
I've just been hiding.
And he's back in the ship. So he's got this shorter haircut here. And he's saying,
so I guess this is probably when he decides like things, ish got real.
Exactly. And I like the juxtaposition of him being like, hey, look, when I have the longer hair, I missed it back in here, and I'm friendly, I'm part of the aristocracy, but then don't make me mad because then I get my shorter hair.
I get the shortcut.
That's right. There you go. There's that shot where you were talking about it being like he's in a Corvette or something, like a mid-sized kind of vehicle. And look at this ship, dude. This ship is crazy up here. This big capital ship. It's got this giant. I don't know what these are for.
I guess that's for communications. Maybe it's a communications hub or something.
Yeah, maybe it is. If he gives us a line and says, what does the guy say? A communications blockade can only mean one thing: invasion. I want that. That sounds awesome.
That's perfect.
Cool. Yeah. That's probably, by the way, that ship that was just headed up right there. That might be that same limousine ship that we saw earlier that was sitting on his dock or whatever.
Nice.
It's kind of got that feel to it.
As long as
And then Return of Mon Mothma, you can't go wrong there. That's awesome.
And even seeing kind of like the city outside of this, I'm wondering, like, is this just another side of Coruscant, or is this a Coruscant-like planet? But I'm assuming if it's not Coruscant, it's definitely one of the what is it called? The core planets or whatever.